processes. The first process, very simple. It's a solid separator. They find these in wastewater treatment plants to slow down the momentum of solid particles and actually separate them out at the bottom of these tanks so that we can flush these on a regular basis and really allow a clean environment for our rock media beds to thrive and flourish with plants that we might have grown in there, or the microbial bacteria, and not get overburdened with too much ammonia. So we use Blue Nile freshwater tilapia to provide the nutrients for our aquaponic system. We get them from a breeder called Americulture in New Mexico for a couple reasons. One, they produce a really consistent fish that can be marketable size-wise, production of nutrients, but also, more importantly, they can sex them as all male. Now we get them all male for a couple of reasons. The first reason being they produce much more waste as a male versus a female, figure that. Second, they actually grow much quicker as a male versus a female, so that we can move them from our nursery tanks into our harvest tanks at a much quicker rate of about 4 to 8 months. Now the third and most important reason why we get these all male is so that they don't reproduce. If we were to get these male and female, tilapia specifically would reproduce on their own in the thousands. Our filters are not made for the small, tiny spawn that these can create. And so that we get them all male so that we can have a constant number so that their environment, their life support systems, and their overall density can stay in a safe threshold so they're not overcrowded. And we're producing not too much nutrient, but just enough nutrient for our lettuce or our hydroponic side of the system. So these tilapia are gonna be eating this fish food and creating fish waste. So as we feed these tilapia, they'll feed off of this fish food and convert it into fish waste. So the fish waste is our raw nutrient that we use to break down into what we can grow our plants with. Before that water ever gets into the plant production area, it goes through a series of filtration processes. The first process, very simple. It's a solid separator. They find these in wastewater treatment plants to slow down the momentum of solid particles and actually separate them out at the bottom of these tanks so that we can flush these on a regular basis and really allow a clean environment for our rock media beds to thrive and flourish with plants that we might have grown in there, or the microbial bacteria, and not get overburdened with too much ammonia. So our next component is our rock media beds. These rock media beds are a flood and drain grow bed using a bell siphon to control the height of the water and then flush it out very quickly, creating a lot of dissolved oxygen in this rock material, but also becoming a home for microbial bacteria, and even more importantly, our red wiggler worms. These red wiggler worms are a buffer in this type of environment to help eat off of any of the bigger particles that might have gotten through our first filtration. They'll help keep a very clean environment when the water's up. They'll swim around, and when it goes down, they'll eat whatever's around them. Also supplementing that water column with an excess nutrient. Once this water flushes through this rock material, it's now really cleaned of any type of solid ammonia. And it's a high percentage of nitrate-rich, nutrient-rich water. This water is going to flow directly into our grow beds and ultimately feed the plants that we're going to sell.